It is Saturday, October 26th, and we are going shopping today. In continuation with what I started in my last video, I'm going to visit a couple stores to look for Tamagotchi, virtual pets, and see what they have on their shelves, as well as look at a couple of the Toys R Us at Macy's. So we have two malls in the West Michigan area that each have a Macy's, so I will be going to both of them today. Earlier this week, I placed one order at each of these Macy's stores for the limited edition Toys R Us Tama. Both orders have been fulfilled, so I will be picking those up. I was worried that they wouldn't have those Tamas in their stores, which is why I wanted to do the online orders. And like I said, there was no issues with the fulfillment, so hopefully they will be there ready and waiting for me. We will also be able to stop at Barnes & Noble as well as any other stores that I feel like along the way. So it should be a good time, and hopefully we will find a few collectibles along the way. We are going to RiverTown Crossings first. This is in like southwest Grand Rapids. We're going here first because I think this mall, the area it's in, is a little more difficult to navigate, so we're just gonna get it out of the way. Now that we're here, our first stop will be to go to the service center to pick up my online order, and then we will look for Toys R Us. After I completed my order pickup on the first floor, I went up to the second floor to see the Toys R Us area. They had some Tamagotchi on an end cap. They had one box that was almost full of the Toys R Us edition. It looked like the only one that was missing was the one that I purchased through the online order. And then they had another box of P1, P2 shells, and they had a good variety of different shells here. There was also the Bitsy, but there really wasn't much else for virtual pets. There was a good selection of Lego, but the biggest selection was like pretend play kind of things like Barbie, Fisher-Price Little People, those types of toys. Other than pretend play, I would say the other biggest selection was STEM and learning type toys. Once I was done at Macy's, I went to the toy shelf. I don't think the toy shelf is a chain, but they always have a great selection of Calico Critters and Playmobil. Like, definitely the best selection that is available in West Michigan in person. They didn't have any virtual pet type items. However, they had a great selection of fidgets that I just loved, and that fidget selection alone definitely made this worth a stop. My final stop in this mall was Barnes & Noble. I actually forgot that they had a Barnes & Noble and almost missed it. The first virtual pet that jumped out at me was a Hello Kitty Nano, but then I also found some originals, a connection, and then a couple of unis. Nowhere else that I visited today had uni devices, so it was cool to see a couple available. I also stopped at FYE and GameStop, but neither of them had anything of virtual pet interest. And then I grabbed a little bit of Starbucks for lunch before I headed out. Now we're going to go to the Woodland Mall. The Woodland Mall is where the Lego store just opened a month or two ago. So after we go to Macy's, we will certainly be stopping there. Not sure if I'm going to get anything, but we will do the same thing at Woodland's Macy's. We will pick up our Tamagotchi and then see what we can find in the Toys R Us area. At the Woodland Mall, this Macy's Toys R Us area was a little bit bigger than at RiverTown Crossings. However, this second Macy's, it was very disorganized, and the whole store was kind of a mess. It was a little bit embarrassing to see, especially compared to the first Macy's we went to. I walked around this Macy's toy area for, gosh, it seemed like a half hour, and I could not find any Tamagotchi or virtual pet anywhere. I could not find the Toys R Us edition of the original Tama, even though the website said they had it in stock, and I was able to pick up my online order without any issue. I thought about asking an employee for help because I really wanted to find it, and like I said, I looked pretty well on my own and I really could not find it, but I figured I wasn't going to buy another one, so I didn't want to waste an employee's time, especially because they all seemed so busy dealing with other things in the store. I imagine they must have been somewhere in the store, but it was a mystery to me wherever they were. After Macy's, I went to this mall's Barnes & Noble. This Barnes & Noble store is great. It's 2 floors. They have a wide selection. They did have some Tamagotchi original shells, connection shells, as well as the Star Wars Nano. That was kind of surprising to see. Barnes & Noble in general had the best selection of the original shells. There was quite a few different shells that I haven't seen in stores in a while. So if you're looking to get some older shells, Barnes & Noble might be a good place to check out. There were no uni devices at this location though. And of course, I stopped at the Lego store. It's always fun to stop there because you get to see some of the sets on display. They also have recently released some physical Fortnite sets. Lego Fortnite the game has been out for a little while, but now they have physical sets. I really want this Peely minifigure, but I really don't want to buy the set that he is included in, so I will see if I can acquire that some other way. I did go ahead and pick up my holiday advent calendar this year, and I'm going to save that for December. I am home now and happy to be out of the car. It actually was a really nice day for driving and the trip went smooth overall. In terms of the different Tamagotchi and virtual pets that we saw, we definitely didn't see anything new or revolutionary, but it was cool to see some different shells out in the wild, so to speak, that I haven't seen in a while, particularly that pink dreamy shell that I saw at the last Barnes & Noble. That's actually a shell that's been on my wish list. I, however, did not pick it up at Barnes & Noble because I know Amazon regularly has that shell for like 16 bucks instead of the $20 that it retails for. However, I know that's not a huge price difference, but I'm always, trying to get a deal. I got my 2 Toys R Us shells. I'm obsessed with this orange glitter plastic. I'm sure I've mentioned this on my channel before, but a long time ago, I used to work at Toys R Us. So Toys R Us has a special place in my heart, not only because I grew up with it, but also because it was one of my work experiences when I was a little bit younger. Let me show you a couple of the other things that I picked up today. At the first Macy's, I picked up this Toys R Us reusable bag. I thought the star shape was so much fun. Even though I don't really need any more reusable bags, I couldn't resist. This purple bag is from the toy shelf. I got a Nido Dream Drop. I'm really excited to try this. I love that it has glitter inside of it. Then I picked up a Tangle. Tangles are like my absolute favorite and they had a great selection. I love that this one has some clear blue plastic on it, and I've had my eye on this one for a little while. And then the last thing I got at the toy shelf is I got some marbles. They have a couple boxes with different size marbles you can pick out. I chose out 20 of these really small ones because I thought they would be good for the Gravitrax marble run that Jake and I got not too long ago. I actually haven't showed that yet on my channel. And then I also got 4 of the standard size marbles for our other marble run. The worker charged me for 6, even though I only got 4. I didn't notice until after I paid. The standard marbles are only 12 cents, so I wasn't going to say anything over less than a quarter's worth of marbles, but I don't know, it just kind of feels like I got ripped off a little bit, but I'm sure it was just an accident. At the second Macy's, I picked up this Toys R Us reusable bag. They didn't have this design at the first Macy's I went to, and I just love, I love the stars. It's such a throwback. Like I said earlier though, I don't really need any more reusable bags, but I just couldn't resist the nostalgia of this, and these bags were on sale for less than $2. And my final purchase for the day, that advent calendar that I mentioned, I decided to go with the Lego City advent calendar this year because I really love the different city minifigures, so this is a great way to easily and quickly build your collection. I'm obsessed with this dog in the sweater, and then here is a matching sweater. I have minifigures of Jake, myself, and Haku, and I definitely see these sweaters making its way to those minifigures. Overall, I would say this was a successful shopping trip. However, it's really weird to think that this is probably the last shopping trip that I'm taking just for myself this year. Next Saturday, 1 week from today, is already November. So it's going to be all about Christmas shopping. The next few times that I will be going out hunting for Tamagotchi and hopefully getting my hands on that stained glass winter shell, that will probably be during Christmas shopping, which is exciting. Christmas is my favorite time of year, but it also starts to become kind of overwhelming. Like, I need to get in the headspace to enjoy Christmas, and that's not always easy to do. I've got a couple fun holiday videos in the works for this channel. I have the Nido Advent Calendar to review, as well as my trip to the Chicago Toy and Game Fair is coming up. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss those couple of things. You can also find me on Instagram, TikTok, other social media. All my links are down in the description box below. Thank you so much for joining me today for this shopping trip. No, we didn't find any new Tamagotchi, but they're definitely coming up, and as soon as I have any more information, I will be sharing that here on my channel, on my community tab, so please stay up to date with me, and yeah, it's just gonna be a great rest of the year. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in my next video.